Good morning. Still just about. I am running crazy late today. I was meant to start painting at like 10 this morning. And, there's a bunch of burst pipes. That basically means that it's like a nightmare to get in and out of my village. So my 5-minute to and from school for the kids took me like an hour and a half. Fun, but I'm back on the table with some Grymkin. So had some real games last night. Actually played Convergence, Mercs, whichever. Basically played Aurora 2. But one of the locals, Jamie's been painting his Grymkin, and I'm like, am I going to get anywhere near like an army painted for the first event back, which is going to be the Sherwood Steamroller in the UK. It's in like August. It's on tiebreak if you. I think it's like 7 tickets left if you want. I was like, oh, I could just finish the Grymkin and put some time in there. So, with that said, the Defiled Archon's arrived. So, like, first of all, like, the glare there. I'll change my colour, but look, like the model just looks fantastic. Like, I think they've knocked it out of the park. I like how he looks a lot like the Heretic, and it's like that sort of fallen. Obviously, the Heretic was a Menite priest, right? And obviously, Defiled Archons are Menoth Archons that have basically fallen and been tortured, messed with. Which is cool. My second Defiled Archon is going to be made out of the Heretic, so it works good for me. So look, it's all, well, I say all, it's nearly all the new resin. Like look at the detail in the wing, like the whole like stretched skin just looks like amazing. It's so like characterful. It's got two pretty big wings. Obviously this is the few metal bits are both arms and his spear, staff, and his head. So we've got. Can we see the icon very well on camera? Got like basically like a broken Manifix essentially. See then, nice book. Second arm, his lovely face. He is not a happy guy. Not a happy guy. And then the body itself is like just one really nice, just solid piece of sculpt. So there's quite a lot of detail on it, considering. Yeah, so like that. That's pretty cool. So the plan is this morning. So it's to finish up. I'm just gonna clean them up a bit, stick them together. God, where's my glue? I'll stick them up together, and then hopefully, as I look around for where the nearest glue is, and then we'll hopefully start painting it. Or at least I'll do like the first stuff, like get like a base and get a zenithal on him. So got a new glue to hand. But yeah, so I'm kind of like, yeah, let's go. Let's pick up some Grymkin again. Start playing. It's super fun. Like, they're such a cool faction to play. So my like choices, I've got anything to pick from. So if you don't know, Grymkin are a limited faction, and they're basically kind of like nightmarish fairy tales. They're very much like the old, like the original style of fairy tales. There isn't a happy ending. Disney princesses don't like it all have animal companions and are happy, and have like, you know, whisked off their feet. Instead, it's basically like that dark side of fairy tale genre where things like things will come in the night and steal your children. That's Grymkin. If you've been a naughty person, if you've been obsessed with greed and you put yourself over and above like your fellow man, so I think it's pretty much all based around humanity. Then you can basically gain the attention of the Grymkin. So, for instance, like the pigs, the piggybacks, basically are like broken and bent humans who have been essentially captured and changed into these servants to the as beasts of burden to these great big fat pig lords. It's like if you are too greedy, the piggybacks will come and make you one of their steeds, and then you'll have to basically live a life like that. The glimmer imp will come and scoop out your eyes with a spoon. If you're, I'm not sure what they all got some sort of like a kink or some sort of like a crime or theme to them. I'm not sure. I should really read them. I've had the book since they came out. I've not properly read the whole thing, so I should do that. But yeah, we've got obviously a bunch of different choices. They're a limited faction, so they don't have huge amounts of choice. Old Witch is part of them, so she summons. So if you don't know, the story is Zivana Aga, which is basically Baba Yaga, who has been like advising Kador for so long, and has had a sort of grubby hands all over various circle stuff over the history of the story. And she's basically come in and gone, yeah, the Infernals have come in. What we need to do is try and cull the amount of bad stuff or basically people maybe that would change sides and work with the Infernals. So she basically opens the gates and summons the Grymkin, brings them onto Kane, and they start catching baddies and telling them off, dragging them away in the middle of the night. The thing is, though, they're not nice creatures. There's no like, oh yeah, we'll come and help you fight the Grymkin, the Infernals. It's more of a, you deserve to die first, or you deserve to be punished. And that's the like the story behind it. It's pretty cool. Like aesthetic wise, there's lots of like twisted shapes and animals, things with like mouths coming out of mouths, fallen priests, gremlins, and always goblin-y sort of things. Like there's the gremlins and the imps, lots of imps. But each of the defilers, so they have defilers, which are basically the warlocks, has something. So we've got, in fact, I'll quickly while I'm cleaning this up, I will wax lyrical about the defilers. So we've got the old witch, like I said. So she's not a Defiler, but she is a caster. They can take Kado can take her to slight difference, but she doesn't have Arcana like the actual Defiler have. So they don't have feats; they have Arcana. They have their own Trump Arcana, which is like individual to the caster, and then they have a choice of basically a bunch of Arcana you can choose that basically help you determine the matchup. So if you're going like sacrifice is like the go-to one. If you've ever played Grymkin, you've probably played into a force that has got sacrifice. You've got to be careful about what order you kill things in, because if you kill a model, the caster can trigger sacrifice, and everything in the army within their control range gets fully healed. So you've got to place your grievous wounds, you've got to place your void archons, you've got to try and mitigate it by like killing one thing at a time, things like that. So it makes you play smarter. Like if you make a mistake, they're a faction that will like absolutely love to punish you for it. She doesn't have that, but she's like a really impressive model. She's like this huge sort of observatory on top of what was Scrapjack, or is Scrapjack. But because she's not a Defiler, she's never like super been like one of my favourites. I've played her at a few events, and she's really good. She's really strong, but yeah, she's not a Defiler, which kind of like puts her in a little different spot for me. Then you've got the Heretic, who is, like I said, an ex-Menarth priest, who basically says, no, I don't want to follow you anymore. We can be gods ourselves. We can make our own way. Defies one of the first gods of mankind, and is thrown into Arcane and becomes the Heretic. So hence he's the Heretic, because he's a fallen priest. I don't have him to hand, but we've already got. So I need to choose who I'm playing at this tournament. Who I'm playing. We've got the child, minus the actual girl. So the girl, so her feet, because she's smoking boots. Now I've got to put her away somewhere safe. So I have the child. Yeah, she's basically like some creepy little girl with this beast behind it with the mask. Which is super character, super cool. I know what I'm planning to do. I need to make sure I can find it first. Actually, like the swirls and stuff, like the details. Pretty cool. So I'm planning on having her like rising out of a pool of blood, very much like a horror film. Then you got the Wanderer. Look at these, all these models waiting to be painted. So the Wanderer is a little bit different, just a lot more normal, a lot more human looking. Looks like, a traveling guy. He's got his backpack, he's got his crazy flail lantern. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I wonder, in my head, I'm going to do him a little bit like a Harlequin with his coat. We'll see how far I get in it. And then we've got Dreamer, who is a beautiful model. So let me have a look. So she's not quite finished. I've been working on her dress, her robes. So I want the dress to look like it's silk, which I think I'm kind of getting there. Like, let's look in with like the highlights. And at the moment I've done her just like she's ghostly. She can turn incorporeal every other turn, which is a super cool ability. And then the last of the let's choose from are King of Nothing. Sat on his lonely toadstool and tree. So I need to figure out who I'm playing, but whoever I'm playing, there's going to be Archons in the nest. Like, guarantee there'll be Archons. Guarantee there'll probably be a Baron Tonguelick. And there'll probably be a couple of Clockatresses, and depending on who I choose, there'll be different things. So obviously you've got two viable themes to choose from. For like infantry or for beasts. Yeah, these guys, these Defiled Archons have given like a very not for like much difference, but they've given like a very new aspect to the faction, where previously there's not been a lot of options for range game apart from like you're throwing clocks up and hoping you don't have to give them up to get the spray off, things like that. So whereas now you can walk up, do some nuking, and port back to safety, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice to have an option, and they're really strong, and there's like some really nice synergy between the different casters. Like King and Nothing is going to love them. In fact, every faction, every caster just wants them. Like, I don't see a list that doesn't have 2 Defiles, unless you're going for something specific where you're going to build like a list and actually pull in a different Archon as your Merc choice. I think you just automatically take 2 of these. And that's not to say that they're broken or they're too strong. It's just they open up the game a lot more to Grymkin, where they were kind of falling apart at the start when Grymkin first came out. They were like dominating. People didn't know how to play against them. They didn't understand how like the Arcana worked. So basically, people were just getting punished and punished. Whereas now, people have seen them. They've played them. You know, it's an old thing now. If your trick is you trap people basically, then after they've been trapped, it gets obviously progressively harder to catch someone out. Look at these wings though. Where's mine zoom? Look at these. Let's have a little quick. Look at that. Like, so if you've seen the Skin and Bones, which are the one of the heavy war beasts that are basically covered in skin that they've gathered from their victims, it's a very similar aesthetic, you know, where the Archon's wings, instead of being beautiful burning fire as a Menoth Archon, instead they're like these horrific stretched skin with like horrified faces over the framework. It's really cool. Like I said, yeah, I'm doing a second one of these. I'll just do as a conversion, and it's just because I like to have things looking differently in my army list. Just like personal like aesthetic. So rather than having 2 looking the same or trying to repose one of them, I've done a fair bit of reposing, but yeah, I figured I'll basically take the Heretic as the base model. I've got a book already, so basically I just replace the Sun with a book on his staff, mess around with him a little bit, and use some nasty ass wings I've got from some death models from another range. It should be cool. But in the meantime, yeah, this is it's a bit of cleanup to do. Obviously, when you're chopping them straight off the sprue, you want to spend a little bit of time. Do a bit of you see what I'm doing a bit more. So I'm kind of at that point in the moment where I'm trying to work out which casters I want to be playing, but I've not played Grymkin since before the first VTC. I think for the first VTC I changed over to playing Convergence / Mercs. So I've got a bit of catching up to do. I've got these guys. I've got a 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, the Riot Quest Grymkin solo. I got them to build as well. But yeah, pretty much it's like not a lot I needed to do to get everything up to date. I don't have a house. If you've seen me talking about the house when it came out, there's been a lot of people kind of being like really experimental and giving it as good a go as they can, so absolutely fair play to them. And the model is like absolutely like stunning. So at some point, maybe I'll get it just to paint it, just to have it and go, look, here's my ginormous house. And once I'm back into the faction a bit, maybe I'll be add to the experiment and go, what do I actually think? Where does it go? You know, if you like, a lot of the time, you'll find that people look at the stats on cards, and you do get things written off before they've actually put them on the table. And on paper, I don't like it, but it could end up being really good. So yeah, I'm not against giving it a go. And honestly, and even though I like to play like pretty hard, I play like competitive lists, I also do play like against people that want to have just a more chill game, a more relaxed game, and go, well, yeah, I can play something that isn't like super optimized, and maybe those lists are the cool ones where I go, here's a ginormous house, haunted house in front of my army, and see how people deal with it. Yeah, it definitely looks cool. It's the sort of thing you're gonna have to, you want to spend a lot of time on to make it look nice. Although there's so much cool stuff for hobby and for painting these days, where if you don't want to spend time putting like hours and hours into like so many different layers, you can pick up inks, you can pick up washes and glazes, you can pick up contrasts, and just go, well, I can make this look perfectly nice for the tabletop without like, you know, pouring myself over the hot coals and going, I don't like painting, or don't feel like I'm up to painting this model particularly. So there's lots of ways around it these days. So if you aren't someone that likes painting, that wants to paint, or wants to put like that much time in, it's good to be just, you want to just get it looking alright to go on the table. There's plenty of ways around it, which is nice. So just doing the first of these wings, like a lot of these struts basically. So to cut down slowly, you don't want to mess it up too much. Yeah, if you've seen, obviously I've just showed you like my Dreamer and my King of Nothing. I use lots of like purples, pinks, and lots of like glowy sort of bright colours of almost like, if you imagine like a garish haunted forest or carnival. That's the kind of scheme. There's a little bit of picture up on my Instagram somewhere of like a row of cockatrices all with different coloured glowing wings, and that's the idea. So I'm not entirely sure where the Archon's going to go with it. Like, I should get a picture. Let me look at a picture of the Archon while I'm talking to you guys. Yes, very much more. It's got like a crimson robes and stuff. These robes at the bottom are also a very dark red, like almost purpley crimson. So that's an easy way to like fit my scheme in a little bit, and then we'll work out what's going to glow, what's going to have what colours added to it. That should be alright. But yeah, aesthetically, they're just so cool. It's like these horrific little like goblins, imps, monsters. They all like caper across the battlefield, and they want to basically do horrible things to you. They want to pluck out your eyes. They want to gather your corpse and recycle you into the Grymkin army in the form of like using your corpse to fuel their luck, things like that, which kind of like reverberates around the Arcana, where you do things. It's all about, like I said, punishing the opposition. But I'm gonna get also this little bit of wing sorted out here. So what I plan to do is at least today I want to get this guy mainly built and get him primed. I do like a lot of stuff with airbrushes, and I spent like 6 to 8 hours last week fixing my airbrushes. So we'll do, which means it's like super nice, right? So if you've got an airbrush, you know you can prime something, and then 5 minutes later you're painting, rather than having to paint and then or spray it with a can and then really wait. Although the weather's not too bad, so I could just do black with a can and then wait while I load up the airbrushes and go through like zenithal. If you're not much of a painter, or if you haven't like heard the phrase, the zenithal like highlight is to bring back like the child's beast. So see, he's darker underneath. So just basically spray it black, and then in gradients spray at angles. So you want to do like a grey. Got this angle, so catches everything, but leaves like the darkest recesses underneath the arms, stuff like that. And then you can do it in grades until you're basically doing pure white from almost straight up. Which means that when you come to doing the painting, like it naturally helps you do highlighting and shadows, so help you pick that out, which is kind of a nice way of helping you with your colour sort of choices and knowing where you want to highlight, where you want to keep darker. So we need it down this. What if we got another wing, and then I think I'm not sure if the metal things parts are going to need anything to do. They're looking pretty clean, to be fair. But yeah, come and let me know what you like playing or what I see in Grymkin, because they've kind of fallen from grace a little bit in competitive. Well, I thought they had until VTC actually had quite a few of them. I was pleasantly surprised. And then I think it's basically the Archon. This guy has brought them back to competitive play by giving them more options for counterplay, more options of being able to reach out and not have to just take another army just shooting or hitting them. So they can suffer from it. So now you can stick down his big AoE there and make it difficult for enemies to pass over it, and then make it difficult for enemies to hit you while they're there. So it's all quite big change just with one release. Got Isaiah the Dread Harvester came out about the same time, who helped out the Dreadrots, the pumpkin-headed infantry. I think the Dreadrots and the Piggybacks are like the only Grymkin infantry I don't have. So in faction, I've literally got everything in faction, apart from Piggybacks. Just they never like particularly interested me, and they never had great rules. Although I'll probably end up getting them to like just complete the army, complete the faction. And the Dreadrots for the same reason. Like they've never worked their way into my list. Grymkin, like for a long time, very very beast heavy. And even though like Bumping Light did get a bump, it helped. Wasn't quite on par with like what some of the casters could do with beasts. So here we are. One crazy wing. I'm pretty sure this bit is not meant to be there. I hope it's not meant to be there. It's coming off. That's the last part to smooth off, and then we've got another wing to go into. But yeah, I find these guys super interesting, and like you've always got that option where if someone isn't used to playing them or hasn't played against them at all, it's going to be really nasty. Like, if you're a new player, I'm not sure I'd recommend playing into them or as them. Like, you need to know when you want to trigger your Arcana, and it's very much like a trap sort of system where if one of your warrior models is killed within your command, if you're hit by a ranged attack, stuff like that, if someone misses, and you want to know when to trigger them. So if you aren't familiar with what your opponent's army can do, you can end up triggering Arcana and basically leaving yourself open, because you're going to do one at a you can leave yourself open to either them sort of backing away or exploiting the fact that you've used one of your Arcana to basically punish you. You don't want, and that's the opposite, right? If you're playing Grymkin, you don't want to be the one getting punished. That's not how it works. That's not how it should work. And yeah, likewise, like I said, they're a faction that's based on like tricking and trapping your opponents. So if I was teaching someone Warmachine, I probably wouldn't want to teach them against Grymkin for a while, because you might be like, you try and teach someone and and it's not going to be nice if you're basically like, yeah, I now pull this trap on you. You've basically killed one guy in my army. Everyone else is healed to full. It's not as pleasant learning experience, I would say. But once you go in, get in there, get people, because that also, you don't want to find these guys as your first opponent in a steamroller and go, I've never played into this Grymkin army, and then find out that they're gonna just do horrible things to you, mess with your psyche. But so yeah, at the moment I'm cleaning this guy up. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence of, do I try to finish painting? I say finish. Do I start painting like a million negation angels and clockwork angels and Teslayers and void archons? Do I basically paint up the entire Aurora list and a second list? So I've been playing Aurora and Ostrom, so I've been playing her as a Merc caster for a little while. And it's like, do you play that, or do I paint that and try and get all that, or do I go, I can just touch up my Grymkin, finish off the casters I want, finish off the Defiled Archons, go, I can put a fully painted list down pretty quickly and easily, and then like that extra painting time I've got between now and the event, go into painting other stuff, or just like going back and revisiting them to give them a better finish. Kind of leaning towards that at the moment, but mainly because we've got like a bunch of new players who are playing like locally at my club that's just opened again a couple weeks ago. I've got some players who come back to the game after being away for like 5 or 6 years, some of them. So that's super cool. And I like to have a painted army. So when we come to an event, I like to be like, there's my army, it looks cool. Rather than here's my army, it looks undercoated. Like, yeah. I definitely think that the raw list I'm playing is still really strong, really competitive. But it's a different world playing it in person as well. That's the thing. I played it last night, and it's like, yeah, I think you've got to be a lot more loose and ready, and go like, I'll accept that I'm vaguely out of range for this, or I'm vaguely out of range for this. So I'm not saying to like do that with your own threat ranges, but like you can't measure up everything. especially when you're like picking wings and models in between each other and focus and like, oh no, you can't do it. It's a nightmare. So that's another thing that's making me go, I could just jump back onto some beautiful Grymkin for the next couple of beds and slow paint the convergence stuff. So I've got time to like give it. I want to do like a sci-fi scheme for it, like a very sort of, I guess, Infinity or Warcastery look. Different like sort of panels and sections of colour on the angels and the jacks. Like I think Tyson's got a really nice scheme he's done on the Void Archon. Jaden has too, and it's like that sort of futuristically look to the Convergence. I think is nice. I've seen an awful lot of Convergence that are basically either just bare metal or they're metal and like rusted. Yeah, it's obviously the clockwork aesthetic, and I'm like, I'd like to have them as more of the side that we see in Hen Shoulder Scrolls, where they're basically clockwork angels in space. So why not? All right, that's looking nice. So again, the detail of the flayed faces and stuff. Like, what's not to like about this this model? I can't remember who sculpted this. I'm not sure if it. I think. Who has done it? I'm not sure. But this goes up there with like one of my favourite sculpts for the faction. I think I'd say. Like Isaiah looks super cool as well. I do love the Dreamer and Kurt Phantasms. They're pretty fantastic. But yeah, the way that the Archon like complements Heretic as like the fallen Menoth priest, and just like goes in with like the same aesthetic, stuff like the skin and bones in the faction. Yeah, it's definitely like what's not to love. So I need to choose. So with that. So if I am switching over, not just for painting, but for playing these guys, I need to figure out who I'm going to be playing. I can't see myself playing a witch. I played it before. I haven't got my own build. I've got her. She's been in a box like underneath my desk since I bought Grymkin. I bought Grymkin like all in one go, pretty much. I had basically like a kitty ready to buy into Infernals hard, and the release schedule for WTC basically like put me off it. So instead I bought just Grymkin, which went, I'll have everything. I bought some like black 2.0, so I had a couple of models where I painted in that sort of like, so if I ever triggered the Shadow Arcana, I could put down like a Clockatrice or Skinnermose that's basically like made of shadow. It was super cool. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I started, had lovely ideas for, and I need to go back and finish. So this guy's nearly done. So I don't think the metal parts are going to have a lot of cleaning to it. There's like a lot of cleaning than I thought, but I'm just taking my time when I'm chatting to people, chatting to myself. So yeah, so my go-tos are going to be, yeah, like at the moment, I think you've got to have some sort of gun answer, because you still have the likes of Gunny 2, Crucible Guard. Say a little bit harder to deal with Legion, because obviously one of the Grymkin answers to guns is putting down a cloud wall with King Nothing, which if you're facing an Archangel or two isn't gonna help. Like, I guess you can place them aggressively, so where the Archangel has to land to give them the -2. That works, right? You're right. Here I am. It's been a little while. King of the Things clouds are Yeah. Living models without modifier get minus 2 to attack rolls. So that's actually not bad, because if you can go up, stick them down, and go, well, an Archangel's only like Rat 6 normally. So if you take an Archangel down to Rat 4 by making it come into one of your clouds, not to stop it line of sight, but just go, well, you're a huge base. I know you're going to have to land somewhere here. And then you just punish them for it. So that's the one option. Versus guns. Obviously, you've got all Witch, but I said you're not really wanting to play her. And then Dreamer comes with Artifice Deviation, which is great for protecting you guys. Or you just generically take a bump and a bunch of Nayslayers, you all fall down and go, well, you can't target me. Unless you're bouncing off like your own models. And a Wanderer, I guess, brings Fog of War, so brings concealment, like army-wide concealment. It's pretty cool. Alright, so that is pretty much done. I'll just quickly run over the metal bits. So not a lot to clean up here, which is quite nice. Looking forward to painting this guy. So for me, it's like coming up to 12:30. So gonna finish just clean these little bits. I think that looks like it wants to come off. And hopefully then I'll come back after lunch and do some actual painting on it. That'll be the plan. But yeah. As far as sculpts go, as far as models go, yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's like, you know, nice and easy put together, very nicely done. How's this fist looking? Angry fist. And an ugly man face. There you go. Alright, so that is the Archon and a lot of mess. So let's clean up quickly, and then I could probably see if I could just stick this guy together before going else. Back in the Archon box. Not that easy. No, they're large, basically, if you didn't know. You just sit them. Sit them on like their trailing. What's it called? Robe. Just smooth off this bottom part. What you're missing is I'm just trimming this bottom section. I forgot that I had zoomed out. But yeah, like it just freestands. I think can you hold it in a few different poses? It might be like stick the wings on first or head on really first. Put the wings on to avoid, like to avoid blocking them. Let's try and. This is where it becomes obvious that I need some new glasses. I have to like go deep, like. Okay, it's pretty cool. So, let's have a quick check. So they just go. I go next to each other. That kind of slot together. That's quite nice. So you slot the wings together, and then you slot them in. So let's do the wings first. Let's quickly do the wings together. So it's got like an indent. Like, how easy is that? That's nice. So yeah, we'll at least get this guy mostly glued, if not entirely glued. I just put a bit too much on. I think I'm okay. This morning, I say this morning, it's now lunchtime. Yeah, so we can get these guys, this guy set ready for painting. Like the resin, like glues pretty nicely, pretty quickly. So that go. Then go there. You want to put his head on. So just do a tiny dab. Tiny dab in there for his head, and likewise. Tiny pool noodle to take the excess. Yeah, we've got like plenty of room there. Puts his head on. He's got this whole like looking down on you thing going on. It's very much like a mortal. Like, how dare you, mortal? It's kind of cool. Oh, I've just noticed that I need to trim his arm. That's annoying. Alright, so. Well, a tiny bit on his cloak that I missed as well. So, yeah, a bit too keen. Bit too keen, but we got like a little bit more left to chop off. It's like a minor adjustment, so not gonna worry about it. As long as he's like alright in the end. Just got a bit of like just a trim off there. Here as well. Right there. Here we go. Nice. Looks nice. I'll just smooth this off here. The joint where his arm's going to go on. But yeah, this is pretty easy. Like realistically, yeah, I spent longer than I needed to cleaning. I assume some of these won't be as bad as others. So play around with where the pose wants to be. I guess it's like, I think the stock model has his arm down. But you can like work it a little bit if you wanted to. We're gonna, I think, put the wings on first. So I know where exactly I want to have his arms. So put a bit of wings, a bit of glue in the back. Just realised my light is like a little bit off centre, so it's not super hard to. It's not super easy to see where it's gluing. So that slots in there. goes. So very exciting. the me holding a model while super cross. I really like the pose though. I think it's really like intimidating, very like authoritative. It's like I am an Archon. You don't mess with me. Like it's a cool model. I'm really happy. Like it's super nice to see beautiful models coming out of like your favorite game, and I'd say he is a pretty beautiful model. Like, so fair play. I'm just gonna leave him for a second for those wings to sell. But yeah, so he's just gluing. We'll stick on its arms in a second. I'll probably. Probably do just go black on him. So I look around, check if I've got like the ones I want. Oh, there's not a lot of black surface primer. We got some. I use a lot of Vallejo, just because I think it's like cracking. The technical term, right? Yeah, rather than like messing around with working out the consistency of stuff, like and thinning. Do you thin this? Do you thin it too much? Do you thin it too little? I find Vallejo is just like as a go-to. Just makes life easy. Just like slap it straight on, or straight in the airbrush as it was. So here goes the arm. So we should have worked that out first. He's got like room to have it as an in front or behind. I think on the model, like the box art is behind him, like this. So let's do that. As I say, I need to get used to having like an X marks the spot, right? So here we go. Here comes the arm down. That's fine. Just glue fairly quickly. Go in for the. Well, that's going in. We'll get the other arm ready. Pop with the glue. I guess I need to do the base. We still need the glue. How this like that's just a cool like pose. It's a cool pose to a cool sculpt. Like quite frankly, yeah, I'm impressed. Like I've seen obviously like I guess like they use like renders, like coloured renders for the box art. So this was before Angel Jonales and Eric Swinson started doing painting for the studio. But like, step it back. Like, that's an impressive looking model. Like to me, I'm like, yeah, that like 100% ticks my boxes of this is an Archon. He looks badass. It looks badass, I guess, right? So yeah, I am definitely sold on it. So I'm gonna stick it down onto the base. So I have it in the middle of the base. I can build some stuff around it as I need to. And it's out of necessity gonna overhang a little bit. I kind of want him. Like the main model in the middle, or slightly. Yeah, that's right. That's cool. So there you go. Let's get the glue for a minute. And what I need to do is we've got the blackout. Just put my tools away. Don't need those. Let's brush up a little bit of this crap. Go back in the box it came in. And we want not airbrush cleaner. That would be bad. My airbrush ready. So just doing, like I said, just doing a quick job. No antivirus. I don't want to pay for you. So let's get this ready. That one just went up. I don't want to have black fingernails for the rest of the week. So, if you're new to airbrushing as well, like I basically started airbrushing when I started painting these guys, Grymkin, in the first place. And like stuff that I've gone, oh, this is a handy thing to know or handy thing to learn. Is airbrush paints are your friend. Like airbrush specific. So this is Vallejo surface primer, but it's like Vallejo air basically. And then I've got thinner flow improver. I'll tend to use like flow improver if I need to. Oh, how much is in this? There's not a lot in this at all. Luckily, you only need a couple of drops normally, so put that in. We'll do the same with the flow improver, just a couple of drops. And then it should be good to go. So have I? I don't know, a little bit too thin. So this is like my bog standard airbrush. Just to say, this is like the unbranded one. When you're just doing like priming, undercoating, whatever, you don't need to go too deep. You don't need like a 200-pound airbrush to just zenithal or something, or to just prime a model, like whatever colour. So don't worry about it. Like, you can easily like pick up like an airbrush like kit on Amazon or like the local hobby stores and stuff. Pretty cheap, to be fair. Like when you think about how much time it saves you. So that's like one of the go-tos. It's not like thinking about how much this airbrush is going to cost. Think how much it saves you. Like I can prime like an army is so little time comparatively, and paint an army compared to like just having like a paintbrush. But basically, yeah, we're just gonna very excitedly just do. There, just doing like thin coats of it and go back over it. You can see at the bottom where it's picking up a lot more compared to the back. But yeah, it's super easy to use. I say yeah. So I said use airbrush paints to save yourself like a lot of hassle with working out how much what needs to clog. And make sure you are 100% clearing out your airbrush after you use it, like every single time. Like, don't leave it sitting for a day. Go back to it and go, oh, it's now a nightmare to clean. because it's gonna just stop you from using it. And like that's obviously eliminates the entire point. If you're gonna use it, use it. So it's lunchtime, so we're gonna do some very exciting spraying, get some lunch, and then come back and see what's next. So we've got a little bit left in here. Recap. If it's size, it's coming out today. So this is my cheap and easy brush. So this isn't for anything apart from doing priming and maybe doing like something like a tank or some scenery. I think I use it for. I'm just going to put this a bit more. Flow improver in. Give it a whisk around. Oh yeah, have a sink to hand, right? Not everyone can. Not everyone chooses where they can paint, but if you can't paint in a room where you've got a sink, then look at stuff like having like a bucket or like a good jar and cleaning utensils and stuff. But you see, like it's just in layers. Build it up. Like the difference. You'll see it soon enough, and then basically we'll just go back over stuff with a grey and then with a white, just to like you can see probably better on camera than I can see in person, like how much just like a quick pass goes to darkening the colours. So yeah, we're going to basically just do for this all over, just do a nice even couple of layers of black. So this is the primer rather than anything else. Don't worry about where you're getting it, because it should just prime the bottle. So getting finished off, and yeah, we'll come back after lunch and see what we're going to have time for. It might be that it's just doing this zenithal basically. Once the primer's settled, so we'll see. We might have a bit of extra time. I'm at the mercy of these crazy buses and having to walk down country lanes or across like the wilds to go and get my kids from school. So my streaming time in the afternoon is a little bit more varied than normal, and same as in the mornings. But hopefully we'll get the basics on this fine creature done. We'll start painting them, and it's a cool model. Like, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. The box art is a lot of crimson, gold, and sort of like lighter metals, so like rather like dark steel or whatever. So it'd be interesting to see where I take this, because I'm not sure yet. Obviously, I'm gonna incorporate the sort of things that my army looks like anyway, so like the purple, and there's definitely room for like some gold on it. So. And you're starting to really see the. There we go. I think we're starting to finally get out somewhere. We maybe have a little bit too much. Going in. So. This is not the best thing to watch, right? Because you just like watching it get darker and darker. The model. It's like at some point it's just going to be a shadow on my in my hand. But all part of the process. So yeah, he'll get finished up now, and then yeah, let me know. Let me know what casters you'd like to see. So I've got King of Nothing and Dreamer, who are well on the way to being finished, but aren't yet. They're definitely good enough to put on the tabletop, but I'm not happy enough with them to call them finished. I really want to like add like to the blend and the detail. And I've got the Child, when I find a girl, and the Wanderer, who have literally got nothing on them apart from like the base. So if you want to see a particular caster, let me know. I'll see if people show a particular interest. It might be that caster gets done first. I'm kind of thinking about finishing off Dreamer and King, and Wanderer as like the new project to do. But we'll see. There's plenty of time. This guy's underarms. I'm getting his face and under these shoulder pads. And like as we start to like properly, when we start to do the zenithal, you'll start to like pick out the details again, and go right. That's where that naturally will want to be shaded. Kind of help you pick that out. Just got a bit more paint needed, but yeah, he's looking mostly ready to sort out. So we're gonna do just a little bit more of this. A couple drops of flow brewer. I need to order some more surface primer. So that's I guess something to do this afternoon. Yeah, it seems like nearly empty. Or it is empty. Alright, we definitely surface primer required. But yeah, there's like so much nice nice work, quick work you can do. Taking my time again. I'm not in a hurry. Kind of enjoying getting into everything with like the painting stream. Hopefully the compressor's not too much of a pain to listen to in the background. There we go. Finish off in this last, probably the last layer, in the wings. You can see on the back where this one here is like hardly touched. It's like a different enough. Get into like all the grooves and stuff. But yeah, so nice and easy start. And yeah, what a beautiful model to kick off going back to Grymkin with. I'm happy with that. So I'll finish off with, leave you with that, and I think once this is ready, this is not ready, but dried for the afternoon, have like a super solid pose and be good to go. And in the meantime, leave you with that. So I'm gonna just finish off here. Very exciting. So the last couple of takes on this, and yeah, come back in. We'll start doing the actual zenithal, and then do some actual painting on Spoot later on. So, see you later. Thanks for joining. Don't forget you can like, follow, subscribe, feed the social media like gods. It's all like super appreciated. Like even if you're just like coming in and saying, "Oh hi, thanks for streaming games, thanks for doing painting," or just hi. It's all good. It all feeds my my love for the game. It makes it feel like a little bit more like it's worthwhile. So it's appreciated if anyone has. And then yeah, we'll see you later. Bye.